Good morning everyone, how are you today? The 7th of December, start of a new week. Oh, what does this week have in hold for all of us, I wonder? I hope good things. Now, someone was asking me the other day about decorating, putting my tree up, that sort of thing. Well, I don't do a tree because firstly, the flat's quite small. Secondly, it's only me, and I just can't bear the idea of having a dead tree in the flat. Although I do love a Christmas tree all decorated. I will be putting a few little decks out on the mantelpiece. I'll have to bodge my sister's bus card up a bit, but I won't be doing that for another week or so. I tend to kind of just do Christmas the week before Christmas. That's when I like to kind of have it out and get that sort of like, ooh, Christmassy feeling. The rest of December for me is more about that feeling of just coziness that I keep talking about. But I know that quite a few of you have done your decorations and trees already. I know some people did it in November, which I think in an ordinary year, I would say, that's far too soon, you're mad. I mean, obviously do what you want. But I get it this year. I get that everyone's got, or not everyone, but a lot of people have got those feelings of uncertainty. How's Christmas going to be? Or, just feeling like they've had a bit of a crummy year. So you've been cheering yourselves up by getting your decorations up early. Why not? It's like I said at the end of November, do whatever it takes to make you happy. So for all of those of you who've done it already, I hope you had a beautiful afternoon, evening or whatever doing it. And as you brought out all your decorations, they sparked beautiful memories. I'm going to just say very quickly, I know, because I don't want us to get maudlin, but I know that there are a number of you who are doing Christmas this year, and it's the first Christmas, I'll get upset, it's the first Christmas you are doing without someone. And I don't mean without them because they can't travel, I mean without them because they've died this year. Do whatever it takes to get you through. I think most of us, we will all feel compassion for you, and I think quite a lot of us will empathise having had that experience. It can be really challenging, and like I was just saying a second ago, which made me think of it, that thing of getting the decorations out of the box and having memories. Undoubtedly, some of the decorations that come out of that box will have been given to you by that loved one who's no longer with you. So, do whatever it takes to get through this time. But also try to, when you look at that decoration, for example, try to remember the good stuff. Well, I don't want us to be maudlin, so let's find window number 7. Do you know, last time I went to have my eyes tested, I've always worn glasses for the distance. Why did I first I think I was in school, it was for reading the blackboard. I've always worn them for distance. I've never needed them for close work. The last time I went to my optician, found it! The last time I went to my optician, he suggested that I needed varifocals. I was like, shut up, varifocals are for like 90-year-olds. I ain't wearing varifocals, because actually my last eye test, I think I was 49. I was like, mate, I'm in my 40s, I'm a young lass. I ain't wearing no varifocals. I think I need some reading glasses though. Right, number 7 is in the little porch of the door. Oh, sorry, I looked at it before you. How rude. Look, her little candle shining brightly. That's what we like at this time of year, isn't it? Light. Light. Brightness, warmth, all those things. Number 7. Oh, I found it straight away. It's getting a bit easier to find them now a few are opened. Oh, sorry, itchy. So the books that this straddles are the half cut off, something with the sugar plums. I don't know what that's supposed to be. 2 Christmas trees? What is that supposed to be? I don't know. And something highly effective at... I don't know. Never mind. Let's get on with the window. Ta-da! What's it say? What's it say? Father Christmas made his first literary appearance in a 1616 masque by Shakespeare's contemporary Ben Jonson. Okay, so if you don't know theatre, if you don't know playwrights, I'm sure most of you kind of have some awareness of Shakespeare. You can imagine that. Imagine big ruffs and all that. So one of his fellow playwrights, Ben Jonson, apparently wrote a masque in which Father Christmas appeared. Wow. I want to know which one. I want to read it now. 1616. You see, this is like the other days, isn't it? It's making me think. Saint Nicholas, Saint Nick. That's in Europe. Our tradition of Father Christmas comes from Saint Nick. I've got a feeling, was he Turkish in origin? I don't know. Is Saint Nick an Ottoman? I don't know. So many things I don't know. So many things to learn in life still. I need to wind back to being 49 and get those varifocals so I can read more. But yeah, that's interesting. And it's what I think what's interesting is, does this mean that it's the first notion of Father Christmas, the character we know now, as in the benevolent person who visits and leaves gifts, as opposed to that saint? I don't know. That would be an interesting one to do a little bit more reading on, and I would certainly like to find out which play. A masque is like a short piece. I would certainly like to read whichever one of Ben Jonson's that is, because do you know what, off the top of my head I suddenly can't even think of a single Ben Jonson play. Volpone. Yeah, blank brain. Never mind. Yay, fab. I love it. It's honestly, it's been great. I really enjoyed this so far, because it's prompting so many other ideas and it's prompting me to go and look things up, which I love. But that's enough of the calendar for now. Now it's time for your little video clip for the day. And today, what are we doing? Ah, yes, we're back in the garden. It was a dry day. It's quite dark, it was quite chilly, so it was definitely the kind of day for moving around a bit. Off we go to the garden. So, good morning everybody, and this is today's little job. As I was explaining in the tour video, I need to get these brambles sorted out of the way, get these sticks moved, get that plank moved, and then the main purpose today is to get this area weeded. Let's see if I can just wriggle it in a bit. It doesn't look like bindweed, thank goodness, just lots of grass. The thing is, there was bindweed in here, but I tried the old hydrogen peroxide trick on them, which only works in dry weather, and it seems to have done the trick, because I don't see any bindweed, just lots and lots of bottom catching, lots and lots of grass. So let me just come on. That's all my lavender stalks. They can be spread out. Hang on a sec, let me turn around this way again. So yes, starting at the other end, what I want to at least do today is get the brambles off, move the sticks, move the plank, get the weeds out, get wood chip on. then if I've got the time / energy, see if I can get these old metal posts out. Yeah, it's just on with wire. I think I've got some wire cutters in the shed, because you can see how this sort of sticks out. It's just asking to trip someone, isn't it? Oh, that's just on with plastic. And then all these metal pipes, poles, whatever. What were they? I don't know. They're hollow. They're some sort of pipes. But then I can put this all on our metal collection pile, so we can get the scrap metal chap in to come and take it away. And that would just, spinning round this way again so you can see, that would just give a little bit more wiggle room on this path. Do you remember me mentioning my neighbour? Whoop! I've got to be really careful in here. My neighbour has built this last winter. This is to make a dead hedge. So all their kind of really chunky, stalky stuff goes in here. And what a great home that will be for various insects. Oh, and just the other thing to say, out of the end of my path, this is so exciting. The path here has been reinstated. You see here it continues. All of this compost used to sit here. So it's all been moved back. This is now a continuation of the path, and you can see how it continues on. If I follow the path and turn right just there, I get to Mark and Mon's plot. But this has been done because, this is so exciting, we're going to have a new water tank installed here. Oh my goodness, that'd be amazing. So I just did double check with the committee that they weren't going to, the pipe is going to be laid under this path, tank here, rather than the pipe coming under our path, because I thought if they're going to put a pipe down, I need to clear everything out of their way, but I won't bother wood chipping. But that's not the case. It's coming from the other side. So, to give you an idea, there'll be a water dipping tank here, and my end bed is here. Oh, it'll just make life so much easier. If, you know, in another drought year, obviously I'm trying to mulch, do all that, but that's 5 metres from here to the new water tank will be 5 metres, as opposed to the water tank that I use up there, which is 20 plus metres away. I know it doesn't sound much, but each one of these beds in the summer was taking as many as sort of 10 cans of water. So yeah, this bed could easily take 40-50 trips. So instead of 40-50 20-metre trips, in the future I will have 40 or 50 5-metre trips. Oh, the things which excite us. It will make a huge difference to me. Right, in the meantime, let's crack on with this. I'm going to start with the brambles, the poles and the plank. One last bit. Good. Getting rid of those brambles has given me a bit of space. Sticks out. You're right, lovely. And I'm about to, I think it's obviously a bit of a tidying, sorting, doing day today, because one of my neighbours, the lads, you can hear them in the background, is your shed roof leaking? Yeah, they're doing a shed roof repair. Perfect time of year. It's what I'm always saying. Don't just, if you've got a warm enough climate, don't just walk away from the garden in October. All through the winter, get on with the maintenance. So yes, this plank, it's massive. Am I talking to a plant? Are you calling my lovely viewers plants? Well, they're beautiful. They're not weeds, that's for sure. So this it's a scaff plank. I'm going to try and drag it out in a sec. And it was really useful in the days when, before I've got the 4 big beds, each subdivided into 5 mini beds. But each of my big beds, I used to turn the whole bed over each winter and soak with green manure. So the plank was great for spreading across the whole bed, so I could walk the plank and not on the soil. But now that I've got my mini beds, And I don't use green manure because it really didn't work very well for me. This is surplus to requirement. And as I was mentioning, oh lordy, a few days ago, our Sheena is sort of revamping her plot a bit. She's making some raised beds, edged beds, whatever. So I mentioned this to her. I mean, you can see it's split here. It's kind of rotten in places, but it's a solid chunky monkey. And I know she'll do it justice, but how to get out of this really tight space without whacking you and without whacking all my neighbours' bits. Ooh. Okay, number. Clunk, clunk. Phew, done. That was a bit tricky, slippy. Anyway, now for the weeding, which I'm just going to get on with because that's way too boring to show you. Using my gorgeous orange truggy. See when it's all done. It's a bit of a schlep from my plot, but it's going to be worth it. Hooray for Woodchips! Now you might be thinking, why don't I use my long-handled spade to go in? But from previous experience, I find this easier. It's kind of wider, bigger. Just get in there. Oh, smell lovely. Damp wood. We still haven't managed to source a regular supply. Where we thought we had one, that guy's moved quite far away, moved his business away. However, this has been 2 different loads from 2 different companies, and they've both said that yes, they will be happy to deliver whenever we want. So hopefully that means that we now will have either a regular supply, or at least, you know, as we get through this pile, another supply to replace it, or, you know, depending on the needs of all the pot holders. One of the problems with my site is access, and I know folk have talked in the past about why don't I just take like a dumper truck delivery of compost, loose compost, much cheaper it is, or you know those kind of the ton bags that the builders use, one of those ton bags of compost, again loose, much cheaper. Yes, it is much cheaper. However, we don't have proper road access to our site. It's a really tiny little lane, and so for instance when I had the sand delivered that went for the base of my shed, they couldn't deliver it to the site. They had to deliver it 400 metres or so away on a main road. So I had to decant that bag and barrow it up to the site, backwards and forwards for 3 hours it took. My knees were in better shape in those days. But yeah, there's no way I can do that with compost, or at least not these days, because it would also, all of that would defeat the purpose of the compost to save my knees, which is why earlier this year I had that delivery, but it was in bags because it was a much smaller van, just like a little transit van can do it. I can get the bags offloaded at the gate, and I don't have to cart them all over in one go. I can just do a few at a time, leave them there, or like happened with that compost delivery, the girls next door were arriving exactly the same time as the van, and without me even asking, without even a pause, they rolled up their sleeves and they got stuck in to help me take it all over to my plot. I do have the best plot buddies. Okay, that's the first one done. I think it's probably going to take at least 2, maybe 3, but yeah, Good start. And now for the fun bit. Oh, I think last time I did this I didn't have my poles put away for winter already. Yeah, I think it's going to take 3 barrows. 4. Yes, 4 barrows. Come on, let's get another one. Oh, don't need that lump of wood in there. On the deck for now. Crash. I've got to say, this is so satisfying to do. I think it's one of those things, isn't it, where I'll give it a trample down in a second. Yeah, you know, so many of the things we do in the garden are, it's sort of about the long term, isn't it? Planting seeds and waiting 4 or 5 months sometimes for a harvest. Purple sprouting broccoli waiting nearly a year for a harvest. All our sort of soil prep, all that kind of stuff, it is very much the long term. So there are very few days in the garden where one can have a feeling of sort of instant gratification. Oh, that's why I've got to get the metal pole out. I don't think I'm going to do the poles today because, frankly, the trips backwards and forwards to get the chips, you know, knees. But yeah, pleased to get this job done. In some ways, it's one of those jobs I'd have preferred to do, say, before I stacked all my poles away in October, but we didn't have any wood chip. So, and actually, it's fine to do today. Yay! Yay! Instant gratification. I suppose I ought to give you a shot without me standing in the way, so you can see the sort of a before and after. So here we have it, the after shot. Oh, that's so much better. So pleasing. Much neater. Much tidier. Much more accessible. Yeah, I really do want to tackle these bits of metal poles. But like I say, they can wait for another day. I'm delighted to get that big old scaff plank over to Sheena. Yay, good stuff. And this, obviously, this is all now much more sort of trimmed back and contained, so we can all start using this path again. And I can fantasise about next summer and having a water tank right there for me to use. I think I might, just looking at it now, I might get, not today, but I might get 1 more barrow load just to put in the end here. But otherwise, I'm going to say, oh, and the sun's just starting to come out. I'm going to say that is a satisfying job well done. And now it's time for me to say cheerio to you all. I'm going to say cheerio until tomorrow when we open another window on the Advent calendar and see what other mischief we can get into. Until then, oh, have a lovely day, whatever you're up to. And I'm going to see what else I might get up to today. Bye for now.